Welcome to Advances in Broadcast Technology. I'm your co-host, Lidia Paulinska. Today we are coming to you from the Las Vegas 2017 NAB show. The event is attended by over 100,000 professionals in broadcast, film, TV, and content creation markets. The show features educational sessions, panels, presentations on advances in the technology, as well as a large exhibit area. I'm pleased to introduce my co-host, Palab Chatterjee, to tell you about the highlights we have put together from today's show.
The major theme this year was the shift to media everywhere, and the associated shift from broadcast studio to content delivery in the cloud. This allows for the support of linear TV, OTT, streaming, and VOD in a single environment. Today's episodes are showing highlights of the offering in the virtualization and cloud space for the broadcast industry. We hope you enjoy the show.
Okay, so I remember in 2014 we had the first interview, and you told me that you like baseball, you like paintball, and you like running the company. Do you still like to do that?
I'm still having fun.
Oh, that's
in
great.
fact, we're in a different place today. I mean, in 2014 and 15, we were spending a lot of our energy, really transforming a lot of the legacy aspects of the company, where today we're accelerating the vision and strategy, and we're focusing more and more on a lot of the next generation technologies, which frankly is exciting and fun. And we're starting to see, the vision and the strategy that we outlined 2 or 3 years ago really come into a place where we can execute against that.
Yeah, and I remember in 2015 the theme was the integration with the cloud, and then 2016 was the entire workflow in the cloud. So what is the theme for this year?
Well, I think as Brick articulated and Sarah, I think they did a really nice job talking about where we're going with opening up our next generation workflow management platform that we call Xenium, and it's a big decision for us to open that up to allow the entire world to take advantage of a technology that we've spent tens of millions of dollars developing over the last 4, 5, 6 years. What we're doing on the advanced advertising side really gives us this unique ability to create the only true end-to-end workflow architecture within the industry. We get to see how things are being monetized on both sides. So from ingest to delivery, we're getting a different kind of appreciation for the way companies monetize through ads and through subscriptions.
So what kind of trends do you see emerging in the next 5 years? If we can talk about 5 years, maybe the...
Yeah, I mean, look, I think that the next 3, 4, 5 years in the evolution of our industry is really going to benefit by this new definition that's certainly being defined by IP and software-defined everything workflows. The Internet of Things in the telecom world are coming into our world. The ability for broadcasters and TV networks and government entities to be able to virtualize some part or all of their network functions, is certainly going to give our customers the ability to, respond much quicker than they could in the past, to be able to spin up and turn up new channels that they weren't able to do as fast as they could before. The ability for them to monetize their business is going to change dramatically. So I think the velocity and the adaptation by which our customers will be able to respond to consumer demands and changes will allow them to participate in the new world in a way that they couldn't be able to participate in the old world.
So what about the young people that they want to watch on any devices or something? How Imagine has a strategy to bring them to this, industry?
On the advertising side?
Yes.
Well, we're so excited what we're doing on the advertising side. We took a very conscious decision 3 years ago to not continue to stay in this closed, monolithic, framework by which ads were being delivered, but instead open up the architecture, create a modular design to where we can introduce next generation traffic and scheduling and billing and optimization and data analytics platforms to give customers an opportunity to participate in best of breed elements when and at the time they were ready. We've taken this very thoughtful approach around automation or programmatic to where we're supporting dozens and dozens of exchanges rather than trying to create our own proprietary exchange. And so we believe that if history has any indication of success, that standards and open architectures will certainly prevail. And
well, the theme for this year is really just an extension of the work that we started in 2014. We started in 2014 and telling a story that everybody was going to move to IP and COTS. In 2015 and 2016, we ourselves made a very large internal commitment to moving all of our platforms so that they were more cloud native and ready for a more dynamic and diverse cloud environment that was all based on IP and generalized compute. And last year, we started to integrate the end-to-end of our portfolio. So we're a company that's actually built on 4 major portfolios. We have advertising, so we run ad management, traffic, and rights and scheduling. We have playout systems, so all to-air and distribution systems that are based around playout technologies. We have networking, which is the infrastructure that connects all of these systems together. And then we have distribution, and distribution is really the fulfillment of all of the rest of the environment. So you start with ad management and you create campaigns and you manage inventory. That feeds into playout through traffic. That feeds in, and of course all of that is empowered by networking. But eventually what you have to be able to do is reach the audience, right? Somewhere you either off air or through OTT, you have to be able to reach the audience. And so for us, the last year has been a big push to connect those systems together and to start to think about how can we take advantage of these new technologies to create new models that allow our customers to essentially create revenue opportunities with the content that they have today. So how do they reach new audience? So this year, thematically, we focused on 2 things. We focused on the move to microservices, and the move to microservices is all about efficiency of operations in the cloud environment. So it's about being able to break down hard problems into more simple problems that are easier to launch and deploy into a native cloud environment. Cloud being any compute, whether it's public, private, or it's any device. But being able to launch more fluidly and efficiently into those environments. It's about being able to run traffic systems and campaign management systems that allow you to automatically scale that infrastructure. And it's about connecting that to the audience through these OTT technologies. So we partnered with Siemens this year to deliver subscriber management and content management solutions, so more in control of the edge of the environment. Continuously advance this whole process to become more efficient. So we're moving to microservices as part of it, and as part of that commitment, we've announced Sunday that we're launching a program called Open Xenium, and Xenium is this core technology which we build all of our products on. So our multi-viewers and our playout systems and our transcoding and encoding environments and file transcoding environments, those are all built on one technology platform that is shared by all those products and is already cloud native. And by opening up that environment to our customers, we're embracing the notion that our customers all run their businesses slightly differently and they need slight modifications to that environment. So our commitment is to share with them the blueprints of how our products work, transparency all the way down to the source code level, so they can actually see what decisions we've made in creating our products. They can actually influence those decisions. And if they want to really get into customization, they can actually commit their own engineering horsepower to help accelerate the entire ecosystem.
Yeah, so this year at NAB, we're focused on 2 areas, significantly focused on 2 areas. One is OTT innovation. So as I mentioned in the press conference, we have hundreds of engineers working on solving a lot of the quality of experience issues related to OTT delivery. The second is our cloud business, and specifically we're announcing our cloud playout product line, which is not just software that's put up into a cloud like Microsoft PowerPoint or Word. It's actually cloud native software which takes advantage of the proper operating system and the infrastructure of cloud, whether it's public or private infrastructure. So those are the two.
So we hear that the yes, Proud is from to improve the experience of the customer.
Exactly.
And so also, can you elaborate about some challenges that you had facing in this process to improve this experience?
Yeah, exactly. So we've all had the experience of the buffering, whether we're streaming any type of video. So we've come out with a bunch of technologies to eliminate that buffer. And one of them is called IQ technology, where we radically change the adaptive bit rate kind of packets that you send to phones or devices, and we figured out a clever way to put that in a variable bit way and use the human eye analytics to adjust and put bits where you need them and where you don't need them. So one of the great things about cloud infrastructure is because it's centralized, you can actually take a stream in, and depending on the rights you might have for even a micro zone or a zip code or a region of the country, you can not only insert different programming but also different type of commercials, or you can do extreme customization on this, and it's a fascinating use case that the cloud enables in a very cost-effective and easy way.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's true. It's really
Super.
exciting.
So how long has SAM been around?
So SAM's existed in its current form for 2 years now. Prior to that, the company was actually created through the merger of Snell & Wilcox and Quantel, two UK companies. We merged in 2014. We ran with joint Snell Quantel branding for a year, and then we created SAM when we had a new management team that started almost exactly 2 years ago. Primarily, our strategy is to aggressive new product introduction. We introduced something like 66 new products, so that's really fueling the sort of growth and allowing us to take significant share from our competition.
Wow, 66 new products. That's got to be a push.
It was, and it's certainly. So it's put a few stresses on the organisation, the ability to train our staff on the new products so they can sell them, install them, support them. But they're the best kind of problems to have, the growth problems.
That's a huge investment from the company's side. So what has been your biggest challenge in pulling all of this together for 66 new products?
So I think it's the internal education and communications, and just making sure that people are familiar with those products when they hit the street. So, the ability to effectively sell them, communicate the benefits of those products. But it's not just the products, it's also the new technology. So within those introductions, we've got a whole new IP portfolio. So there's new technology for people to learn. A lot of products that were historically hardware boxes are now pure software, so software virtualization systems, networking, etc. And so there's just layers and layers of education for the organization to make it effective in terms of delivering these solutions. Yeah.
So bringing up technology changes, there's a difference in opinion on virtualization. Tell me, why do you think it's here today as opposed to next year?
Well, I think what we're seeing is different parts of the market, there's different appetites. So for certain broadcasters, I would agree, for some people it's too soon to virtualize, but we are actively doing, as I said, we're deploying a project this year. We're well through that process. It'll be on air, fully virtualized by June. More of the demand come from the larger organizations, because I think they have the biggest challenges in terms of scaling their business, and the virtualization brings them the biggest benefits, probably.
Well, that is just awesome. I'm glad to hear that it's here today. Absolutely. And it seems to be working for you now. And yes. So you've had quite an announcement with 66 new products. Where do you go from there? I mean, that's a huge leap. What are your future plans?
Well, that has to be the norm now. I mean, our strategy is growth. We think there's we're not short of ideas in terms of product introductions and what we would like to do. So we've got really healthy roadmaps across, our complete portfolio. The two companies that came together had a fantastic portfolio of intellectual property, technical intellectual property, and I think the reason, so that there's a great pool of capability for us to build on.
The transformation TV. I mean, TV, we don't even know if during the transformation TV will still mean the same thing. But still, people will engage to consume content, video content, and will consume in a different way, and that is the transformation. And the key enabler for this transformation is software, cloud, and data. Let me share with you a bit of our tech. So I'm the head of Media Solutions, so the technology stack, end-to-end. And so we talk about Media First. Media First is a suite of products. We have media processing, media delivery, and the TV platform component. We talk about a cloud-based next-generation TV for all the screen at web speed. We have a TV application. It's a cloud-based next-generation TV app that is bringing together TV in home, the OTT services, and TV everywhere. What is important of this next-generation cloud application is the fact that is the tools that will allow service providers to compete with web-scale players. Because TV will look like very much an internet services, but with a carrier-grade quality of services, because the combination of carrier-grade quality of services and the internet services, that is really what makes TV and the internet comes together, and that is really an important aspect of this transformation. The next one is a launch we are doing. So media processing, as I told you in the beginning, is one of the components of the portfolio. We are launching here a new new release of Media First Encoding Live. So faster video transcoding and industry-leading density. Together with the new Encoding Live, we have a management controller. So this is a unified way to manage all the different components of media processing. We are talking about the different microservices containerized, and this is a unified approach in managing all these microservices that makes our media processing portfolio. Going again, so this is another product launch. In the beginning, we have said transformation, key enabler of the transformation is software, is cloud, and data. When we talk about data, Media First Stream Personalization is allowing a dynamic ad insertion, so working on end-user session and changing on the fly content targeting the specific end user. That is what we mean here with this picture, because we have, yes, at the center there is a software, so our cloudified software with video platform. We talk about user profile and personalization, because it's all about end user and put end user at the center on what we do it and what our customers are going to do it with this next-gen TV solution. It's about data and analytics and targeted advertisement. But we can do much more. So what we are enabling with our portfolio, and in particular with our TV application, is of course, working towards all type of devices and platforms. But is also open, so an important aspect of our vision and what we have done in our portfolio is enabling the integration with any kind of application ecosystem. So we have a partnership with Google, but we are working with Netflix, we are working with all other ecosystem in order to be integrated in the platform and helping our customer to open up and be inclusive on all the applications that are existing and will come going forward.
We're here at NAB 2017, and at the Akamai booth, the end viewer is at the center of everything that we're focused on. So here in the viewer experience area at the front of our booth, we're very much focused on the end user experience. We're showcasing technologies that are implemented into devices and other media platforms in order to enhance the experience of content delivered directly to consumers. And we're utilizing a number of technologies that are integrated into these devices that enable better quality experiences, whether it's less rebuffering, higher bit rates up to 4K and beyond, and also, faster startup times. So that's really what we're focused on here at the viewer experience area. Here at the Media Services Live demo section at NAB, we're bridging the gap between broadcast and internet distribution. From what you can see behind me, there's a cable feed and there is an internet delivered feed, and what we're showing is that the latency or the delay between them are nearly identical. For years, subscribers or viewers of online content heard about big plays or supporting events from Twitter before they could actually see it, which ruined the experience. But now with Akamai's Media Services Live and our live origin capabilities, which support low latency and far more robust ingest and reliability, that we're narrowing the gap between broadcast and broadband.
Okay, Kaltura. We're here at the Kaltura booth. We are powering the transformation of the television ecosystem. What do we mean by that? Media companies and telcos are working on basically transforming their business to align with the new digital sort of marketplace. And there are three sort of pillars to how we're sort of doing that. We're allowing them to adapt their business to changing times. Specifically, that means the ability to add advertising, subscription, and transactional sort of models and experiment and essentially build audience and then convert them to subscribers. But if an end user doesn't have a good experience, it doesn't come to that much. So we're also working exceptionally hard on making sure that the user experience in every single way is really great across multiple different sort of platforms, regardless of wherever they are in the world. And you have to be able to do that at scale, because scale is what's going to allow the television industry to essentially sort of transform. We're in a exhibition here at NAB where for the longest time people have had reliable sort of television. Now that reliable television experience needs to go to the digital sort of platforms, but it needs to be on the digital platforms in such a way that the product is actually personalized, and ultimately it's about matching content to individuals and making sure that they get the experience that they need.
One of the absolute fundamental challenges that the industry is facing is latency, right? And latency across all sorts of different networks. I was at IBC. It was kind of the unspoken thing at the show is, okay, everybody needs to achieve these very low latency experiences to, approximate the delivery of the broadcast signal so you can have a very fluid second screen, third screen experience. We all sit there and watch all sorts of different media. And really that was where SRT was founded, and that's kind of the crux of this next announcement. And the history of SRT was, 4 or 5 IBCs ago, right, Mark, where everybody came to Haivision and they said, listen, we've got to get off of expensive networks, we've got to get off of satellite, we've got to get off of MPLS, and that's where we came up with this SRT technology. But there comes a time where, being a a proprietary one company technology only takes you so far.
Right.
And this is the spirit of friendships and what we've crafted with our friends at Wowza. We've had a very long relationship with Wowza, and that's kind of the next step in the thing.
So why don't we invite Dave up?
Bring Dave up. And I really feel that with the market scrambling for these low latency solutions, they're looking for an answer. And today, Haivision, teamed with Wowza, are actually delivering probably the most important announcement at NAB this year. Certainly one of the most important announcements in my history, 13 years with Haivision. So, Dave, why don't you tell us about SRT and what we're doing together?
I don't want to steal anyone's thunder. So, Wowza and Haivision have had a relationship for a long time, probably more than a decade.
Yeah.
And I remember Peter telling me, very first phone call, you need to do this. And we did it, and it was all very cool. And this relationship around SRT is key. The concept is so important to Wowza, so important to our customers. We've got a large customer base of Wowza streaming engines out there that talk to Haivision encoders and others, and are very focused on low latency streaming ourselves.
The crux of the announcement is that Haivision, in collaboration with Wowza, are forming what is called the SRT Alliance. There's a whole initiative broke through this morning when SRT as a technology and a protocol was deposited on GitHub. That's the world's open source playground. It's available for anybody to download and use under LGPL license. What Haivision and Wowza together are banking on is the adoption of SRT as a de facto standard for low latency streaming, for vendors to incorporate it into the products, for developers to operate within the constructs of the open source community, to use the software, enhance it, and bring those enhancements back to the community. But also it's a technical relationship, a technical marriage between Haivision and Wowza, where we're both vested in bringing this technology forward. And just to give you an example, Dave was talking about maturity. I believe Mark Simentowski is one of our lead developers. We first launched HEVC over SRT a number of years ago at IBC. And just to show everybody the demonstration that we have in the corner, and sorry, camera guy, I'm going to move over here. If I can have your eyeballs over here, what you see in the bottom left side is your source. Above that is that source going across a network affected by 2% packet loss. And on the right side, you see 2% packet loss recovered with SRT technology, showing flawless video, I think at about 6 megabit per second. And below that, what you really want to do with these public internet connections is make the bandwidth as small as possible. So below that, on top, we have our H264, I believe at around 6 megabit per second. And below that, we have HEVC encoding end-to-end, and you can see very little additional latency and improve actually at a reduced bandwidth the same picture quality on the left-hand side. So this is remarkable technology. As Dave mentioned before, the software was placed in GitHub at, Adam, what time did you hit the button?
Midnight.
At midnight, our developers deposited the software in GitHub. By 11 a.m. this morning, we already had a third-party developer who knew nothing about this incorporate the software on the product and show end-to-end workflows using SRT. So it's really an amazing technology, incredibly easy to adopt, and that's what Haivision and Wowza are standing for, is the rapid adoption of this remarkable technology in a space that until today has been massively fragmented with proprietary solutions. If you go to the SRT Alliance, we'll talk about, so again, SRT, pristine quality, very, very low latency, secure streams, and now open source. And it does very, very fast packet loss recovery to send these secure streams over any network.